afternoon, Mr. Gibson. Following the disastrous defeat of the New South Wales forces by the armies of the Principality of Queensland, it is now strongly suspected that there is an enemy agent in the New South Wales camp. Any of these men could be that agent, and with an invasion by the Queensland forces now imminent, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to expose the traitor before he can pass on vital plans for the next engagement. As always, should you or any of your men fail in your mission, the selectors will disavow any responsibility. Good luck, Jack. This tape will self-destruct in 10 seconds.
Series, Queensland up against New South Wales, live from the Sydney Football Stadium. Well, the atmosphere is great in Sydney, a top night for football, 40,000 there to cheer on the Blues, and our commentators, Alan Thomas and Andrew Slack, a little outnumbered, but let's get their thoughts on the big encounter.
Thanks, Chris. Well, Andrew, this New South Wales side tonight, no doubt, I think they'll be more committed than they were at Lang Park. I still think Queensland's got the goods. I think they'll wrap up the series 2-0 here tonight, despite the, I suppose, the new oomph that New South Wales might put on the paddock here tonight at the stadium.
Yes, and of course the crowd will be a factor tonight, all for New South Wales, but it's a sellout, and I think that'll help Queensland because it'll just give them that momentum that they'd like. Lang Park, of course, if been a fight, they'd have stopped it. I think it'll be closer tonight, but still Queensland to win.
And I'll join in and make it 3 out of 3 for Queensland. Of course, the Maroons have won the last 6 in a row. They're going for 7 in a row. Can they do it? Find out shortly.
Hang on to your hat, old son.
5 State of Origin encounters, including the one in LA. The current situation, the Maroons have won 15, New South Wales 10, and of course, as I said before, the Maroons have won the last 6 in a row. A sellout crowd in Sydney. Let's head down to the Sydney Football Stadium and a man who's outnumbered on the sideline, Mr. T. Rod Tiley.
Thank you, Chris, and what a night for the second State of Origin game in the New South Wales dressing room. A very intense feeling. Jack Gibson telling his players this is a grand final for the Blues. They lose tonight, he says. They've lost 3 State of Origin series on the trot. A relaxed and confident Queensland dressing room. Individually, Beatson going through the strengths and weaknesses of that New South Wales side, and obviously planning to play pretty much the game plan that worked so well for them at Lang Park. With me on the sideline, Peter Jackson. Jacko, it'll be tougher. How do you see it tonight?
Oh, I think it'll be a lot tougher. There won't be any 36-6 scoreline, I don't think, because of these people here that have come along to support New South Wales. I think their pride will see them play a lot better than they did last time.
What about the inclusion of Sam Backo? Obviously a big strength.
Oh, obviously Sam loves big games, and I think, you know, Wayne was quoted as saying that Sam finds it easier to perform in big games than he does in little games. So, you know, I think Sammy will be on fire tonight.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to a big one. Queensland to win?
Oh, certainly, Rod.
Let's go back upstairs to Alan Thomas.
Thanks, Rod. Yes, Queensland have won the toss. Wally Lewis can work out exactly how he wants to play the game now. And Andrew Slack, Peter Jackson tonight on the sidelines. We go back 12 months. Remember when Wally Lewis was hurt last year, he filled the 5/8 shoes, scored the try in Queensland's 26-18 win over New South Wales. So it'll be a few thoughts filtering back through Jacko's mind here tonight.
Yes, well, he was outstanding that day at 5'8", and then, of course, he moved back into the centres when Wally regained fitness. But the centre pairing Queensland have got at the moment is not too foul. Tony Curry and Mel Meninga playing superbly. And I think that's one area, if Queensland can get the ball out wide, that's one area where they should find themselves dominating. John Ferguson's come back into the 3/4 for New South Wales. They obviously didn't think he was good enough when they initially selected the side, but when Brian Johnson from St George had to pull out, Ferguson got a reprieve with Eddinghausen moving into the forwards. I think Eddinghausen will enjoy being a bit closer to the action.
Andrew, you said in the preview you think the crowd could work in Queensland's favour. I mean, you've played in front of big crowds before. I mean, what's the psychology behind that?
Well, it just knits you closer together, I think. If there's an atmosphere, no matter whether the crowd's against you or not, if you know there's atmosphere, know there's a lot of people watching you, I think you tend to try harder, you perform better generally. I guess Lang Park over the years has had an aura about it that perhaps for the younger New South Wales players that have come up, it's affected them. But you ever talk to the Steve Mortimers, those people, they've really enjoyed the fact of playing at Lang Park against a crowd, I guess, as well as the players. And to that end, I think Queensland are very much advantaged by there being such atmosphere tonight and what will undoubtedly be overwhelming New South Wales support. I think it'll bring them closer together.
Gavin Miller having last words to his players. Andrew Eddinghausen going out in front of Mario Fennick. Kelly, the Iron Man. So much is going to depend on him tonight. Peter Kelly. He's been brought into the side to toughen up the defence up the middle. And it's a big ask. He's up against Bacco and Bella, the two prop forwards who last year destroyed New South Wales in a clean sweep of the State of Origin. They walk, of course, at the stadium from the dressing room down a tunnel. Here's the cheers for Gavin Miller and the Blues. They're getting plenty of support tonight. And what a difference the way they ran out tonight compared to the Lang Park game, Andrew Slack.
Yes, of course, they walked out that night and everyone wondered what was happening. Wally Lewis said after the match that when he saw them adopt that tactic of walking out, that Queensland had it won then.
Now Wally Lewis, he knows what's waiting for him. He's nonchalant. Wally Lewis is used to the jeers from the New South Wales crowd before. I don't think that'll upset him at all.
The New South Wales team, a few changes, 5 in fact from the last side. Gary Jacks at fullback. The wingers are John Ferguson and Chris Johns. Centres, Andrew Eddinghausen and Laurie Daly. A new halves pairing, Chris Mortimer and Greg Alexander, the Penrith pair. And in the forwards, Bradley Clyde continued his selection. He's back at lock, a surprise to some people. Gavin Miller is captain in the second row with a newcomer, Bruce Maguire. Another newcomer, Peter Kelly at prop. Mario Fennick and Paul Dunn complete the 13.
And of course they're coached by Jack Gibson. Lewis marshals his troops. And here's the Maroon side. Gary Belcher trying to oust Gary Jack for the test spot. On the three-quarters, McIndoe, Curry, Meninga, Hancock. Lewis is the captain and the 5'8". And of course, Alan Langer, the halfback. The front row is Martin Bella, Kerrod Wilson, Sam Bacco. The second row is a Paul Borton, Gene Miles. The lockers, Bobby Lindner, coached by Arthur Beeson. And now the anthem. So now everyone can settle down. The band leaves the ground. All the extras also clear the field. And the man in the hot seat, Brisbane's David Manson, refereeing his first State of Origin. And Andrew, how would the Butterflies be with him apart from the players?
Well, I think David will be very nervous, but he's shown himself to be a most competent referee. I think once he gets into the swing of it, just like the players, the first whistle, first minute or two gone, it'll be back to normal for him, and we can expect the good job that he's done in the Brisbane Rugby League over the past couple of seasons.
David Manson, of course, has been a touch judge of State of Origin. He had to rule on the McIndoe-Ferguson close try in the first game. Also on the McIndoe try here last year, one of the corners. And so Laurie Daly, who had his State of Origin debut at Lang Park, back on home soil tonight.
You can be sure Laurie Daly and Bradley Clyde will be better for that experience.
David Manson is satisfied both captains are ready. Bobby Lindner, a little bit of a fiddle and a fumble. 8 metres out from his line.
Well, I wonder if that's a good omen, because Queensland did almost the same to the first Origin match, except Alan McIndoe knocked on. I know they've been practicing that ploy, and here they've got the knock on already from the play the ball. Not a great start.
The ball reached out of McIndoe's hand, 3 in for the tackle. The ball going loose, so Queensland only about 12 metres out from their line is where Alexander feeds his first scrum. And over to Mortimer, and he and Daly got mixed up with Ferguson. Tackled by Lewis. Here's Bradley Clyde, 12 metres out from the line. Alexander over to Fennick. Bacco and Fennick collide. Kelly, 9 metres out. Now Alexander switching play to Miller, looking for a hole. Bradley Clyde dumped by Mel Meninga. Miller again, left foot, and that's going to be... Oh, by golly. Gary Belcher let it go. Gary Belcher feels that was over the dead ball line on the ball, but the touch judge has ruled no by the look of it.
Yes, well, I'm sure Gary Belcher stood himself on the line and felt that because he's on that line, the ball over his shoulder must have bounced dead, but apparently it hasn't, and it's a drop out from underneath the post.
Well, that's pressure on Queensland. That'll test the character early in the piece. Gary Jack up the middle of the ground, and he's 32 metres, or about 30 metres or so out from the line. Fennick, short of the quarter. That's New South Wales with Dunn over to Alexander, and then Miller to Daly. Just inside the quarter. Miller from dummy half over to Alexander. Can they find gaps? Fennick giving it out wide to Maguire. Fennick inside to Kelly. 10 metres out on the final tackle now. Watch Alexander. How's the kicking game tonight from the Penrith halfback? We'll soon find out. It's picked up by Hancock, and he runs it out. He runs it out real well. He'll have to come inside as Jack comes to him, and a great run from Michael Hancock. He's about 8 metres short of the halfway mark from taking the ball over his own try line. Martin Bella's at the halfway.
Inspirational stuff from Hancock.
And very good play from Martin Bella to be there to take that ball up from Hancock's run. That's a good start from Queensland. The defence in those 12 tackles also very tight.
So now, Bacco. 10 metres inside New South Wales territory. Walters, it goes to Langer. Lewis outside to Lindner. Lewis has been held in back play, but Langer's got the ball. Back to Belcher. Over it goes to Hancock, and Queensland are in for the first try. Wally Lewis was held back in back play, but the Maroons are on a storm. Michael Hancock are having a blinder in the opening 5 minutes, and Queensland lead by 4 points to 0.
Well, Michael Hancock started and he finished it. There's the cutout pass from Lewis. Finds Lindner, and Lindner's the break. There you'll see in the background, Lewis held back, but Langer, as ever, in support. As soon as he gets the ball, he looks outside. He's got the New South Wales defence in 2 minds. Pass slightly behind Belcher, but Hancock in perfect position.
And the boo that you might hear in the background as the replayers come up on screen here at the stadium. Langer linking up with Belcher. To Hancock and over. Queensland lead 4-0. After this break, we'll be back. A metre in from touch. He's 26 metres out, trying to convert Michael Hancock's try. Hits it. And it's over! It's got over the crossbar. Mel Meninga converts the try from the touchline, and Queensland lead by 6 points to 0, and there's 5 minutes gone in the match.
Well, at this stage of the game, I'd say New South Wales would have needed that like Rip Van Winkle needs Mogadon. I mean, they did all the attacking. The defence from Queensland superb, but then some brilliant attack from Michael Hancock. He's played 85 minutes of State of Origin football, and that's another repeat of what happened in Brisbane. This is almost a carbon copy. We've 2 knock-ons from the first 2 kickoffs, or well, not the knock-on the first one, but it was eventually the scrum to New South Wales. So things happening very similarly to Lang Park 3 weeks ago. But Michael Hancock, 85 minutes of State of Origin football he's played, 3 tries he scored. He must think it's a piece of cake.
So now Mortimer, away it goes to Ferguson, and he's hitting a very heavy tackle from Tony Curry. Now it's with Daly. Queensland putting themselves under pressure from the kick-off. Now Finnick. Inside it goes to Maguire. 10 metres out. Now Alexander on the short side. It goes to Kelly, and Kelly's 8 metres out. He's put to ground by Miles and Langer. Now it's with Dunn, he's knocked it on. Dunn making the error, trying to get rid of the ball too quickly.
Well, those mistakes from Queensland from the kick-off, they of course can prove fatal, but when your defence is as strong as it's been so far in this game, they're not so bad. The tackling really has been good. Martin Bella leading the way, Fatty Borton is always there, and Sam Backo getting amongst them.
So Langer wins the scrum and Belcher comes up. Mortimer and Jacker got hold of him. Langer goes to dummy half. Now it's for Lindner. 4 metres short of the quarter line. Now Meninga. One hand back to Borton. Floats one to Lewis. Then it goes to Belcher. And Belcher's away. How's the support? He kicks ahead. The race is on. Here comes McIndoe. Alexander gets there first. Tackled in goal. Goal line drop out. Great pressure, Queensland.
All started with great communication back in their own 22. The ball went left. Paul Borton took it, got the screen from Wally Lewis, the long pass, and Lewis sent them away. Good option from Belcher there. I think he had nothing else on. That was the right thing to do, and it was just a race, and Greg Alexander showed his pace, beating McIndoe and 2 of his New South Wales teammates to the ball. Good decision from David Manson too.
There was 4 Blues going for the ball. Just as well Alexander had the speed because McIndoe outgunned the other 3. Alexander's pace saved the day. McIndoe. 9 metres inside New South Wales territory. Langer a dummy half. Now to Borton. Over the advantage line goes the Queensland second rower, and Walters from dummy half. They're outside the quarter, Queensland. Now Langer over to Bella. Nice tackle from Paul Dunn. Langer. Stepping. Quick hands, Lewis. Lewis. Alexander's got him on the final tackle. Now it goes back to Langer. There's the kick, and it'll go into touch.
Well, New South Wales need big games from their new men tonight, Peter Kelly being one, and of course Bruce Maguire. Peter Kelly in that move missed Wally Lewis. You can't afford to do that or they'll be in strife.
Alexander to feed. Gives it away to Johns. First touch of the football for the Bronco winger. Jack across field. Miles and Borton, the tacklers on the 22. Dunn met by Backo and Bella.
And coming forward to meeting the Queensland props.
Kelly hit by Bella. Didn't get a chance to get over that advantage line. Alexander with the driving kick. Sits up for Belcher. Eddinghausen waits for him. Takes the tackle. Now Hancock. Stepping and running across field. Comes inside. 5 metres short of the halfway. Walters. Now Langer. Back to Backo. Back to Langer. Langer's away. Chips ahead. The race is on. Plenty of New South Wales cover. Bradley Clyde. He'll play it to Chris Mortimer. And over to Jack. Now it goes to Eddinghausen. Can't get past Wally Lewis. The crowd calling for Queensland to get back to 5. Well, I can tell you for IM, they're back to 5. They're trying to con David Manson. No chance at the moment. There's Maguire.
Early on, New South Wales had 2 or 3 runners. They seem to have dropped one of those off already. They're going 1 out at the moment.
Bradley Clyde. Underneath was Backo. Now to Alexander. The kick's on again. That's a better kick, but it sits for Belcher. Can he run around Eddinghausen? No, he's caught centre field. Coming over was also Fennick. Now Miles from dummy half. They decide to spin it. Curry gives it back to Bobby Lindner. And he's on the halfway peg. Walters, Morton, Bella. Safety first for Queensland with their possession. They're not real hot from the kick-off, but they're holding the football in the tackles. Lewis giving it to Miles, and over it goes to Curry, and that was forward. David Manson's picked it up.
Good decision, I think, from Manson.
Yes, it certainly looked forward from up here. You had the halfway line as a guide, and it seemed as Gene Miles has the ball here, they're right on halfway. He's before it, and Curry takes it just on the halfway line. Not much in it, but enough.
So Alexander to feed. Mortimer, Gary Jack, can he break them? He gets it back to Mortimer. He's tackled by Belcher. Not getting up quick enough of Bobby Lindner. Penalty to New South Wales. In the middle of the ground. So Daly, is he going to have a shot at goal? Yes, he is. Daly's going to have a shot at goal. Queensland in front 6-0. We'll be back in a moment. More comfortable tonight at the Sydney Football Stadium than his first go at Lang Park when he missed a sitter. This will be a nice kick if he can slot it over. The young fellow comes in, gives it a hoof, and it's a shocker. And it's gone backwards. Bobby Lindner having a lot of trouble with his hands. Belcher's got the ball. Went right through Lindner's legs, but it was awkward.
And the percentages weren't there for him to have a go at. He should just have left it go. And perhaps a bit fortunate that there wasn't a knock on there, because that would have returned the pressure on Queensland. But aren't they coping with it well when they do put themselves under pressure?
Backo outside the 22. Walters away to Langer. Bella's lost it. Here's a chance. New South Wales with the ball on the 22. Bradley Clyde plays it to Fennick and Alexander. Eddinghausen, what can he put on? Oh, he got to Curry. Curry slammed him to the ground. Maguire at dummy half. Here goes Chris Johns. And he's about 20 metres out from the line.
Backo just getting back into the line, hitting the tackle and just getting up very slowly.
Bradley Clyde trying to split the Queensland defence. Walters has him.
Yes, good tackle, Walters. But could have been in strife Queensland then if he had have got through.
Kelly tackled by Backo. Here's the final tackle. Alexander's been harassed, but he puts it through. Belcher will pick it up. Can he get it back in the field of play? No, he can't. Good pressure from New South Wales. Goal line drop out for the Maroons.
Yes, that's good play from Greg Alexander. We saw a kicking game in Brisbane 3 weeks ago that looked quite pointless as we look at Artie Beetson with the customary cap. And Greg Alexander seems to have the ball well under control today, those chip kicks. He's put them inside Queensland's goal line, meaning that every time Queensland picks it up, they have to, if tackled in the line, they then have the dropout, which puts them under pressure.
So Lewis looking to clear this right down to the halfway mark. Gives it a thump. It's a big one. It's right to the halfway mark. Gary Jack takes it on the chalk. Can't get past Langer and Lindner. But he's only 10 metres away from the quarter. Fennick giving it to Miller to hit it up. Backo and Bella the tacklers. Now Fennick. Dunn. Can't get past Borton. Throws it on the ground. Was that touched? They've lost the ball, New South Wales. Now a knock-on's been ruled.
Started well, David Manson, not missing much. New South Wales at least adding a bit of variety. There's some dummies coming from Fennick at dummy half. He's going left, then turning right. So the Queensland defence just not sure what New South Wales are going to do, but nothing wrong with their tackling. Once they have to make the tackles, they're doing so effectively.
Alexander gives it inside to Jack, and Langer hangs on to him. Well read by Alan Langer. New South Wales on the 22. Maguire held onto by Miles and Langer. Alexander the dummy half. Cuts out Kelly for Dunn. And Borton and Walters put him down. Queensland defence so far, holding up under a bit of pressure. Now Fennick slips one around to Johns. Oh, Bacco drives him in the tackle. New South Wales struggling to break Queensland's defence. They're throwing everything at them. Now Alexander running across field, picks up Daly, and he's almost through. Going to the line, he's into touch. A cover came across from Curry and also Lewis.
Well, outstanding cover from Tony Curry. The second time in the match, Laurie Daly's got around his Canberra teammate, Mel Meninga. Here he is, gets him on the outside. Looks set to score at this stage, but Tony Curry, who said during the week he wants to be the Rock of Gibraltar in defence, he's proved that he is in that case, saving a certain 4 points.
McIndoe coming in from the wing.
And the scrums at this stage, 5-1 to New South Wales. Plenty of possession.
Linder from dummy half, can't get past Mortimer. Mortimer read him like a book. Miles. Oh, great tackle from Maguire. Yes, the Balmain second rower. And there's a penalty against Maguire after he'd done the good work by the look of it. Hit Miles in a bone cruncher and wanted to carry on with it after he'd made the tackle. So chance for Lewis to relieve a bit of pressure.
But a good sign from New South Wales' point of view, the commitment of the fellows like Maguire. And there's the replay. Great tackle on Gene Miles. Miller in over the top. The reason for the penalty is carrying on with it.
Now Martin Bella. 5 metres inside New South Wales territory. Langer. Dummies on his own. Oops, bit of sloppy play. Oh, Miles took that somehow. Dumped by Alexander and a good tackle. Langer's hurt his ankle. Now to Lindner. Alan Langer's hurt. This could be trouble for Queensland. He can't get to his feet. Now Lewis gives the long pass to Belcher. He's whacked up by Mortimer. New South Wales doing it well. And they're getting the go on too from the crowd. New South Wales not letting Queensland play the ball. Another penalty to the Maroons. Langer down. Not looking good.
Calling for assistance.
David Manson plays on. Lewis finds touch.
Yes, legitimate concern with Langer. Often with ankle injuries, if the player shows a lot of pain at the time, it usually can spell danger.
Stretcher's getting reset.
Well, it means Michael Hagan will probably come on into the halfback spot if he can't continue now. Bella. Langer being carted from the field. Over now, it goes towards Lewis, who decides to run the football. He's tackled on the 22.
Michael Hagan coming on for Queensland in jersey 15.
Horton takes on Mortimer. Langer being carted off. Michael Hagan is on. Over to Mel Meninga. Kicks through. And that'll be New South Wales ball. Well, I wonder what difference that's going to make long-term. Andrew Slack with Langer carted from the field to play.
Well, obviously a player of Langer's class is going to be missed, but I think Queensland can cope with it. What I think it will do is give New South Wales a bit of hope. They'll say, look, things might be going our way today. We've got rid of Langer, although it's not in ideal circumstances for anybody, a sad sight. But I think it'll help New South Wales, not only from the loss of Langer for Queensland, but also just give them a bit of a G-up, although you wouldn't think so by Ettinghausen missing a simple pass like that. But big advantage to the Blues.
So Martin Bella. Just outside the 22, a bad mistake from New South Wales. Now, Miles. He's been well and truly wrapped up over there by Clyde, Miller and Fennick. They've hit Miles tonight like a steam train. Hagan gives it over to Vorton. Just outside the quarter, New South Wales defence has found another gear. Now Hagan over to Curry, inside to Meninga. Can't get past Maguire. Underneath was Clyde. Now Meninga getting to his feet pretty slowly. Lewis has a shot at a field goal. Will it go dead? Yes, it will.
Just went underneath the post. Some good tactics from Wally Lewis. That give them that 7-point break, but the kick wasn't as effective as the tactics. Didn't go over, but still Queensland playing it in New South Wales half. And obviously be very keen to score next to strike a psychological blow immediately on New South Wales, having lost Langer. If Queensland can score shortly, that could be a big bonus for them.
It's a ligament injury for Alan Langer. In a lot of pain, the doctor is checking it now, but it is a ligament injury.
So we've got 19 minutes to half-time. Queensland in front, 6 points to 0. Oh, there was Bella, has hit Maguire. Now Bella's got Maguire. I don't know what went on. I just got it out of the corner of my eye. Bella being called out by Manson. Lewis getting in. This will be a penalty, New South Wales. And Maguire was hanging on to Bella, so Bella let him have a right hand.
Yes, but it was a bit of a slap from Bella. It wasn't a fist. Certainly worth a penalty, but Maguire, gee, he's been impressive. 27-year-old. He played for New South Wales country as far back as 1981 and joined Balmain in 1985. And, gee, his tackling has been something else tonight. Really meeting the Queenslanders going forward to hit them. And that's stiffened New South Wales around the middle. No risk.
Well, we read about this New South Wales side. They're going to be more committed, and they are. They're playing with a lot of determination, the Blues, and there goes Chicka Ferguson. Can't get away from Fatty Vorton. Bradley Clyde at dummy half, giving it to Mortimer. And he's tackled 5 metres inside Queensland territory. Fennick. Johns. Can't get past Bella and Hancock. Now Kelly. Tackled by Bacco and Lindner. Fennick. Now Alexander. That was a forward pass to Clyde. Can he get his hands free back to Fennick? Can the gaps open? That was forward again to Maguire. He's dropped it anyway. It's Queensland's ball.
Good play from Michael Hagan, putting the New South Wales attack in 2 minds and ending up causing a dropped ball, which Queensland can use.
Queensland are outside their own 22. Bacco 10 metres outside the quarter. Walters, long pass to Belcher. Bella, Hagan. New South Wales defence got Queensland rattled at the moment. Miles. Can't get the pass away. Bradley Clyde doing a good job on Gene Miles. Lewis gets the kick in. Jack. Will he take on Hancock? No, he'll come in field. And he's still going, Gary Jack. Yes, that's the Gary Jack of old. That's the fullback who runs with determination and class. Now it's with Dunn. I think New South Wales think they're in here with a chance, Andrew.
Oh, there's no doubt they are. That the commitment is obviously there. After Queensland scored that early try, it fell away for a little while, but they know they're in business.
Johns. Can't get away from Bella. A straight line of defence of Queensland looks a little bit iffy. Alexander, he dummied. Couldn't get his pass away. Miles and Hagan put him down. 6 points to 0 is the lead for Queensland. Only 1 try. Now Miller.
Once again, we have an example of going right, then changing the direction of play, going inside. Just keeps the defence pattern in 2 minds.
That's a great kick from Alexander, and it's got snow on it. Belcher. Is this play on? It's going to be play on. It's a try to Laurie Daly. New South Wales are in. That was a great bomb from Alexander. I'm not sure whether Belcher was impeded while he went to take the ball. It went loose. Daly picked it up. 6 points to 4 it is.
Well, as I saw it, I reckon it was fair. Belcher went for it, so did the New South Wales players coming at it. I don't believe there was an interference, no going for the ball. It falls loose, there's Laurie Daly on the spot and goes over in the tackle of the 2 wingers, McIndoe and Hancock. And that's great play from New South Wales. Greg Alexander, as we see it once again, had it for half a second, slipped straight into Daly's hands. But variety is the key to rugby league a lot of times, and Alexander's providing that. He's used the chip kick over the line 3 or 4 times early. Queensland perhaps getting used to it. Up goes the bomb. And a great bomb at that, perfectly executed, terrific support. There were 3 or 4 New South Welshmen on the spot, mind you, a couple of Queenslanders too, but Belcher was the man with the responsibility, couldn't hold it that time.
Great kick from Alexander. By golly, it went up high. Alexander's taking the conversion, makes no mistake. 6 points all. We'll be back in a moment. Halfway. 1 try apiece. Both tries converted. 6 all the score. Gary Jack. And the big crowd here, 40,000 of them at the Sydney Football Stadium. Get behind their side. something they haven't done in recent years, but they're behind them tonight. Gavin Miller struggling out of tackles, outside his own quarter. Queensland up inside the 5. Now, who's to kick for touch? Will it be Daly? I think it should be. 12.5 minutes to half-time. Daly finds touch on the halfway. Alexander, straight over to Mortimer, and then to Ferguson. He's tackled by Voot. Centre field. Just inside Queensland's half. Mortimer over to Clyde and back to Mortimer, taking on Bacco. He lost. Mortimer, that was. Now Alexander, Daly, Johns playing in the centres. Yes, I often wondered why John to be on the wing for too long. He's definitely playing a lot in the centres with Eddinghausen on the wing as Kelly takes it forward. Maguire wrestled to the ground by Lindner. Over the top was Hagan. On the final tackle, Alexander kicked again. Hancock covered. And who's been hit? Daly's been hit in back play by the look of it. No touch judges come on. David Manson hasn't seen anything. The crowd did, but it's play on. So Queensland are on their own 22. Miles.
Bob Lindner now being attended by the trainer.
Mel Meninga going to the sideline. Here's Rod Tiley.
Thank you, Alan. With me is Dick Turner, the Queensland manager, and we've had a serious injury, unfortunately, to Alan Langer. Dick, what's the story?
Well, very sorry to say that Alan has been taken out of the game. The doctor presently examining him believes that he has ligament damage to his left knee, and that's very unfortunate for Alan and very unfortunate for the team.
Is it a knee? Is it? I thought it was an ankle.
No, it's not his ankle. It's a stretch from his knee, probably halfway. No, it's not his ankle. It's more a knee than an ankle.
Thank you, Dick. And another replacement, Mel Meninga, is off and Dale Shearer on.
New South Wales losing possession. We'll find out what's wrong with big Mel Meninga shortly with Rod Tiley.
He's in the head bin.
In the head bin. He got a knock about 10 or 15 minutes ago, Mel, and he looks as though he may not have recovered. So Hagan feeds the scrum. Lindner picks it out. Picks it up at the back. And he's 5 metres outside the 22. So Langer and Meninga off the field for Queensland. Morton runs it inside the quarter. We've got 10 minutes to half-time, 6-all to score. Lewis calling for the football. Long pass to Hagan. Belcher. Then it goes to Shearer. Oh, inside pass has gone loose. And that'll come back for the knock-on. Dale Shearer on the field for only about 2 seconds, and he's bashed through the gap.
Yes, and the ball passed inside to Tony Curry. Simultaneously, Chris Mortimer tackled Curry. The ball went loose. Would have almost been before he had the ball, but I think another good decision by David Manson. He's having a good game.
Wayne Giebel just getting rid of another football. Alexander feeds, takes it out, tries to come inside Hagan. He can't do so. New South Wales 18 metres out from their line with Bradley Clyde. Fennick, driven back by Borton. Dunn, away to Kelly. Borton again, the tackler. Leading from the front, Paul Borton in defence. New South Wales have certainly lifted their game here tonight. Mortimer putting the big kick for Gary Belcher. Sits up for him. Here comes Eddinghausen. Also Johns, he runs across, runs into Clyde. Clyde takes him, having a much better game tonight, Bradley Clyde. He's a fine player, Bradley Clyde. I know a lot of people were a bit critical of him in his first game at Lang Park. It was a big task for the Canberra lock forward, but he's a fine footballer. You're going to see a lot of him over the years, and he's improved out of sight with one big game under his belt.
Greg Alexander not just limiting himself to attack, he's been often criticised as he makes his second tackle about his defence. There's been no problems about that tonight.
And he put down big Martin Bella. Lewis, over it goes to Hagan.
Well, despite the loss of the two players, Queensland still sticking to trying to throw the ball wide. They know that's where they should have New South Wales beaten. But the combination, it's a little bit lost at the moment. It'll take them some time. And Wally Lewis, all his captaincy skills, I think, will need to be put to good order tonight, because this is difficult. Things aren't going well for the Queenslanders. Injuries always upset you, but still the defence hasn't let up.
Here's Chris Johns, short of his 22. Over to Miller, running the football. Short pass to Daly. Can't get around Hancock and Bacco, and he's right on the 22. 7.5 minutes to half-time. Mario Fenech almost through. The cover was there from Curry. Oh, this is a tight football game. Kelly, Curry again the tackler. On the final tackle. McIndoe gets back, Hancock doesn't. Alexander kicks for touch. Comes in field. Belcher over his own line. Alexander waits for him and tackles him. Oh, having a gem of a game, Alexander. Now Hancock from dummy half, over to Lewis, back to Hancock. Bradley Clyde again, the tackler. Queensland aren't going forward. They need someone to hit it up straight. McIndoe, that's 3 tackles gone. Miles trying to make ground out wide. Can't do so. New South Wales defence well and truly to the fore. Now Bella. They needed that sort of football about 2 rucks ago. On the final tackle. Lewis. For position. And for touch. And it'll find it just outside the New South Wales 22.
Well, Lewis, of course, will have a greater responsibility in the kicking role. With Langer there, they used to be able to occasionally throw it to Lewis, occasionally Langer, keep New South Wales in 2 minds. I think you'll find Lewis obviously having to do a lot more of the kicking now, and that will mean he'll get more pressure, as he had pressure there, but still able to cope with it. The sign of a great player, being able to put up with that pressure. That's what Wally Lewis does so well.
More bad news for Queensland. Mal Meninga will not be back tonight. He has a possible cheekbone fracture.
Ferguson. Checker Ferguson into space. Has he got the speed? Hancock coming. Hancock, he's run around him. And he's tackled on the 22-metre line by Bobby Lindner. By Michael Hagan, rather. Now it's Eddinghausen, a dummy half. Alexander, short pass to Miller. Back to Clyde. And New South Wales are 10 metres away from the try line. The Blues doing it well. Chris Johns, 5 metres out. 6-all the score. Hancock's down injured. Over it goes to Alexander. And now it's gone to Maguire. He's dropped it. Walters with it.
Maguire had 3 men outside to 1 Queenslander. The pass was high. Maguire hitting the tackle at the same time. A cut pass, I think, would have given a New South Wales try.
Michael Hancock's down on the ground. So that's another injury to Queensland. Meninga won't be returning. Fractured cheekbone. Alan Lang has done ligaments in his knee. He won't be back. And now Michael Hancock's as crook as a chop. New South Wales very physical tonight. Now Bacco. Walters back to sloppy play. He'll have to tidy it up himself. Hit on the ground from the tackle of Gavin Miller. Now Miles away to Lindner. In goes Maguire and Clyde. I wish I had $1 for every tackle Bradley Clyde's made in the first 36 minutes of the match. Bella taken head on by Kelly. Now Miles. Lewis. Back to Miles. Over the top to Belcher. He's lost it. Ferguson's come up with it. He's lost it. Miller will come up with it. It's gone backwards. Play on. Now Maguire. Horton and Bella put him down. This is real tough stuff, Fenech. Both these teams are pretty wary. They'll be looking for the half-time break. Now Gary Jack. Tackled by Bobby Lindner. Now it goes back towards Dunn. 6-all the score. Alexander. Can he beat Belcher? Comes inside. No, he can't. Alexander from dummy half. On the final tackle now. It's with Johns. Away it goes to Miller. The kick's on. Hancock will have to move. And he knocks it dead. Goal line drop out. 3 minutes to the break. Queensland under a lot of pressure.
Captain Gavin Miller cajoling his forwards, giving encouragement every time there's a good tackle. It's something, or a good pass, it's something that's been missing in New South Wales sides, I think, in the last 18 months or so. Certainly was at Lane Park. Not that there was much to encourage them about, but Gavin Miller doing a good job tonight. He's making sure the players' minds are on the job, and they certainly seem to be.
Lewis taking his time. Queensland sucking in the wind. They're going to have to hold New South Wales out to the break. It's 2.5 minutes to half-time. Lewis down for Gary Jack. No, it's not Jack. He'll pick it up. Daly will beat him to it. Not running fast enough, Daly. Should have been hitting the line a bit harder. And he's hurt in the tackle. But he'll get to his feet slowly and play it to Chris Johns. This has been a tough, rugged game, Clyde. New South Wales are just outside the 22. Now to Miller, running it across and dumbing and going on his own, but Bacco's got him with Hagan.
And Hagan's done a lot of tackling since he's come on as Langer's replacement.
There's Fennick, tackled again by Hagan. New South Wales inside the quarter. Alexander went for the field goal. Now he sets himself, and it's away, no goal. 1 minute and 34 seconds to half-time, 6-all the score. Alexander had an ideal opportunity there. He beat Lindner, stepped him, but he couldn't put it through the sticks. And even a psychological advantage of 1 point would be enough for New South Wales to come them out for the second half. With determination, Bacco. Midway 22 and quarter. Queensland side of halfway. Miles. Short of the halfway. Plays it to Walters. Lewis, held on to by Mortimer, wrestled to the ground, and note the New South Wales crowd love it when Wally Lewis goes to turf. Walters at the halfway, speculator, now it's with Hagan. 44 seconds to the break.
Queensland still maintaining their commitment to spin the ball, but I think they could be a little bit more circumspect in their choice sometimes. They're throwing, pushing the pass from time to time and giving New South Wales an advantage. Gary
Jack inside his own 22. In the last half minute before half-time, Chris Johns, Bella again the tackler. Now Clyde. Tackled by Miles and Bacco.
They should work to Hancock's wing. He is still a passenger for Queensland with the shoulder problem.
Kelly. I think both teams will be looking forward to hearing the half-time siren. And what a great half of football it's been. Fennick. Fennick! Maguire! Has he got the speed? No, that's half-time. It's gone loose. Half-time siren's gone. Gary Belcher takes the tackle. That's half-time, and it's 6 points all.
Yes, and just as well that try wasn't awarded because, Maguire didn't get to the line, because I'm fairly certain the pass to Maguire did go forward. Would have been a contentious point, but Queensland cleaned up anyway, 6-all at half-time.
6 points all. We'll take a break and be back in a moment.
All at half-time. Let's have a look at the statistics in the first 40 minutes. Penalties 3-all, scrums 7-3 to the Blues, tries 1-all, goals 1-all, and the scoreline all tied up at 6 points all. The tackle count most important for Queensland: Bacco 21, Vaughton 20, Hagan in the time that he's been on there 15, Walters 14 for New South Wales, Miller 20, Clyde 19, Kelly 16, and Dunn 14. Well, it was a great half of football. Let's have a look at the highlights.
10 metres inside New South Wales territory. Walters, it goes to Langer. Lewis outside to Lindner. Lewis has been held in back play, but Langer's got the ball. Back to Belcher. Over it goes to Hancock, and Queensland are in for the first try. Wally Lewis was held back in back play, but the Maroons are on a storm. Michael Hancock are having a blinder in the opening 5 minutes, and Queensland lead by 4 points to 0. Now Miller.
Once again, we have an example of going right, then changing the direction of play, going inside. Just keeps the defence battling in 2 minds.
That's a great kick from Alexander. It's got snow on it. Belt. Is this play on? It's going to be play on. It's a try to Laurie Daly. New South Wales are in. That was a great bomb from Alexander. I'm not sure whether Belch was impeded while he went to take the ball. It went loose. Daly picked it up. 6 points to 4 it is.
6 points to 4. He kicked the conversion, did Greg Alexander. That made it 6-all, the half-time score. Back with the second 40 minutes after this break. State of Origin Winfield Series, and of course the Blues, well, they're out to save a bit of face. Let's get back to the Sydney Football Stadium where things are very tense, Alan Thomas.
Well, half-time. I think, Andrew, you and I are getting our breath back. I'm sure the players are doing the same in the dressing room, and what 40 minutes of football.
Was indeed an outstanding 40 minutes without any shadow of doubt. New South Wales, I thought when Queensland got that first try that their play slumped for some 5 or 10 minutes. They seemed to lose it and thought, here we go again. But then the loss of Alan Langer, that lifted them, and by the same token didn't help Queensland, and they've been really very good ever since, although their attack does lack some spark. I think the fact that Andrew Heddinghausen's hardly been seen, but Greg Alexander's been their playmaker and doing it well.
Let's go to the sideline for a bit of information. Here's Mr. T.
And there's more problems in the Queensland dressing room. Batty Vorton will have to come off. He's got an elbow injury, also a sore ankle. He'll be replaced by Trevor Gilmeister, and they've been working on the Hancock shoulder. It's pretty well confirmed now that Mel Meninga's got a fractured cheekbone, and Alan Langer has just gone to St Vincent's Hospital with that leg problem of his. Jacko, you should have bought the boots, mate.
Yeah, mate, it's unfortunate. I think that's probably Queensland, when they saw Alfie go off, I think they dropped down a gear. So, you know, it's unfortunate, it really is.
They have had a lot of the ball, New South Wales, so our blokes have got to be given credit.
Well, I think they've held them out pretty well to one try, but, you know, I think they're battling at the moment. Hopefully they'll battle through that period and get back on top, but I suppose you'd say at the moment New South Wales have probably got the better of the first half.
With 40,000 New South Welshmen cheering them on, you reckon they're good for the money?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, Queensland are a champion team. They've got blokes like Wally Lewis out there leading them, and, you know, while he's on the field and the rest of the boys are wearing that maroon jersey, they'll never give in. So it's a long way to go yet.
I agree, and Artie Beetson's in there talking to them about courage. He said that they've had a lot of the ball, New South Wales, and you've held them out. You can do it for another 40 minutes.
Andrew, Peter Jackson made a point there. If Queensland are going to win this match, I think Wally Lewis, he's the man. Andrew, I think he has to run the football.
He does, but by the same token, Queensland have got to be patient. I felt they lost a bit of patience then that last 15 or so minutes, tried to throw the long pass, tried to score every time they had the 6 tackles. I think they've got to play for some field position, do the tough stuff up the middle. When you get to the 4th or 5th tackle, okay, then look for the breaks out wide. But if they can play it down in New South Wales 22, I think the 3 quarters, although a little bit messed up now with the loss of Meninga, I think they still have it over New South Wales, but they can't expect to do it every single time. Play a waiting, patient game and keep that defensive work up front, and I think Queensland could do the job. But mind you, with all these injuries, they'll deserve VCs if they get out of it with a win. Of course, some outstanding tackling displays, and Gavin Miller there with 18 tackles. He led the tackling up at Lang Park as well, and Jack Gibson made note of that after the match. He's a playmaker, and he's been making play tonight, Gavin Miller, but that doesn't mean he shirked his tackles.
There's still the booze for Lewis and the Maroons. Well, Sam Bacco has done a lot of work in the first half. We mightn't have seen him run the football as much as we're used to seeing him, but I can tell you he's made a lot of tackles. Trevor Gilmeister on, and gee, Paul Vorton, it's not only a loss physically, but it's a loss for Queensland inspirationally, because Paul Vorton is a man who inspires his team, but Trevor Gilmeister gets his chance. Chris Mortimer's had the job of keeping Wally Lewis quiet tonight. He's done that pretty well. Chicka Ferguson, we've seen his speed. And that man on screen, Alexander's having a blinder in his State of Origin debut. He's not trying to do too much. He's trying to do things when they're on. It's a sign of a good footballer. Lewis restarts the second half. Miller lets it go. And Jack will pick it up. He's at the quarter. Clyde. Kelly. Underneath was Gilmeister. nicknamed the Axe for obvious reasons with his tackling. That's done. Clyde, he's missed. He's into space, Bradley Clyde. Now the pass has gone inside to Maguire, but it was forward, says David Manson. Tough decision to make. What do you think, Andrew?
I thought he was right on the spot, and it was a correct decision.
There it was. So Hagan feeds the scrum. Takes it out, gives it to Lewis. Over to Shearer. They said Dale Shearer's just starting to come into form with Manly Warringah after a slow start. Well, Rowdy Shearer's going to have to find form and find it fast tonight. Trevor Gill missed 6 metres inside New South Wales territory. Bella underneath is Clyde. Now Walters. Pass back to Bella. Hagan. Lewis. Inside to Bacco. Midway, halfway quarter, New South Wales territory. Gilmister on the final tackle. The mess up on the play of the ball. Miles will go to dummy half to Lewis. Now he puts it up, but it's a mile too big, I think, unless it bounces badly for Jack, but it doesn't. It bounces over the dead ball. Tap from the quarter.
It's not one of the kicks that Wally would be most proud of, but taken a different bounce, things might have told a different story. But there's just a little problem with Queensland. Some of the basics are falling down. In that set of 6, the passes were going behind the man. You lose the momentum if that happens. They'll have to concentrate on those basics first.
Kelly, what do you think Beetson would have been telling these blokes at the break, Andrew?
Well, I imagine he would have tried very hard just to commit them to their defence, because they had a very tough 40 minutes. I don't know if tactically he would have had much to say. I would have liked him to tell them just to quell the attack a bit, not to try too much. But certainly I think they did such a fine job defensively in the first half. He would be encouraging them to go out and do similarly in the second 40 minutes. Sam Bacco there, he made 21 tackles in that first half. That's a lot of work for a big man.
Nice short passing from Alexander to Clyde. New South Wales keeping it nice and tight. Now Alexander's got a chance to run and test out Belcher. Can't get away from Eddinghausen, and on the 22 the fullback goes to ground. Now we'll test out Hancock shoulder. Does he run from dummy half? He does. Looked a bit tentative. Walters for Miles, taking it up. Good run from Miles. Made about 12 metres. Now Bella, he was met by Dunn. That's what New South Wales didn't do at Lang Park. They didn't go up to meet the man. Now Walters. He's been trying to get up the dummy half, up the middle from dummy half, but New South Wales haven't been wearing it tonight. Lewis, back to Belcher. Jack in position. Yes, it's a different Gary Jack tonight, isn't it? Tackle by Walters, who got up there in a hurry. Got a bit of dash about him tonight, Gary Jack. Chris John standing and tackles and getting away. 9 metres outside, he's 22. Alexander away, it goes to Maguire. New South Wales playing it up the forwards, up the middle of the ruck. That's where Kelly hits it.
Alexander getting a lot more freedom from dummy half than Terry Lamb had when he was playing in that role in Brisbane.
Mortimer. Hancock, they'll be kicking to his wing a fair bit. Picks it up. Can he beat Eddinghausen? Stops, starts. Tries to go round the other way. Eddinghausen followed him all the way. Never let him out of his sights. Belcher giving it to Curry. Queensland aren't hitting it up. You got centres taking the ball forward. Miles taking it up like a front rower. Oh, what a nice tackle that was from Kelly underneath the Maguire. Miles plays it forward. Fennick the tackler. Bella. And there's a penalty to Queensland. against Alexander. New South Wales don't like it. That'll relieve pressure. It's just happened there.
I think they had reason to not like it. I think Martin Bella lost the ball.
Now Bella again. 8 metres inside New South Wales territory. Now it goes away, this time to Bacco. Now Lindner. That's better stuff from Queensland, and 3 tackles have made valuable territory. Gilmister. That was nothing there.
See, a lack of combination. The reserves coming on, and while they will have practiced a lot together, it's not the same as having your starting 13, and you can expect a bit of rustiness there, and we're seeing that.
Quick hands now, Lewis. Back inside to Hagan. Kicks over the top. Was McIndoe onside. Gary Jack takes it. And almost away. Daly. New South Wales might get bundled into touch. He is. Daly bowled into touch. Mel Meninga looking a little bit worse for wear with his fractured cheekbone. Now Queensland have a chance inside New South Wales 22. Hagan picks it up and gives it to Lewis. Now Curry. He's 18 metres out from the try line. Lewis over to Lindner. Can't find a way through. New South Wales defence pretty good. Now Bacco. 10 metres out from the line. Walters to Hagan to Lewis. Over to Miles. Touched. And that'll be new. No, that'll be Queensland's ball. Curry's got it. 6 to go. Now Walters.
Gary Coyne on the sideline for Queensland.
Oh, Gilmister's put it down. Knocked back on New South Wales ball. He's ruled that knock back. I think that was forward for mine. Now back to Martin Bella. 12 metres out from the line of New South Wales defence. Stonewall at the moment. Oh, long pass to Lewis. The combination's not there. It was Belcher and Miles who got in each other's road.
The moment Wally Lewis wearing Chris Mortimer like a skin, he just won't leave him alone, Mortimer. That was what he was there for, doing it well in the second half.
So we're on the final tackle. New South Wales have actually forced Queensland back. Lewis, they run it. Belcher. Now the stab kick in for Johns. It's in the end goal. Can Johns run it out? Yes, he does. Oh, good work, Chris Johns. He got past Hancock and Shearer to get it in the field of play. That was worth a fortune to his team. Daly. The crowd calling for Queensland to get back their 5 metres. That's a common occurrence down here in Sydney football. Up goes Dunn. He's got it back to Miller. And now it's gone through Mortimer, and Eddinghausen gives Ferguson room. And he can't get around McIndoe. Good cover from McIndoe.
And very good attack from New South Wales, showing a lot of confidence and really good quick passes in that movement.
Now Mortimer for Belcher. There's a bit of space to the left. But Belcher goes up centre field and goes to ground. Dale Shearer might be looking for a run off the Michael Hagan pass. He's running across field. Daly's got him.
And Dale Shearer, the man who I believe could prove the trump in the carnage of all these players going off, the replacement of the calibre of Dale Shearer could be just the trump that Queensland need when the crunch is on.
Great tackling from Maguire and Kelly on Bella. Hagan. Short of the halfway. New South Wales defence. Here's Walters. On the final tackle. Lewis, has he got time to kick? He does. That's for Ferguson. Ferguson touches it, juggles it and holds it. And runs across field. Gilmister put him down. Now Eddinghausen. Haven't seen much of him tonight. Oh, dumped into the ground by Gilmister. That hurt Eddinghausen. Now Johns. Oh, this is tough stuff. This is State of Origin. This is what it's supposed to be all about. Lewis misses Miller with the charge. This is character stuff. I don't know how either of these teams will back up for a third game. There's Fennick. Dunn. Daly. Inside to Johns. Speed to Byrne. Oh, Bella got him. Lewis finished him off. On the final tackle, New South Wales a chance. There's about 6 Maroons, not even back in a position. Have they got the numbers? Here goes Mortimer. He gives it to Jack. Inside to Eddinghausen. Andrew Eddinghausen puts it up. It goes loose. It's knocked back. It'll be Queensland ball, I think. No. Yes, it is. Dale Shearer's got it. Oh, what a physical game this has been. Now to Bacco. He struggles out of the 22. Now the chant comes from the supporters of New South Wales as Bella again takes it forward and Maguire waits for him and puts him down. It's 12 minutes gone in the second half where Gene Miles takes it up.
And Gene Miles taking on a real difficult responsibility in the second half. He knows the Queensland team is struggling up front with the loss of...
Quick hands for Queensland. Belcher. Now it goes back inside to Shearer. Over to Hagan. Back to Walters. He's heading for the try line. And he's there. Kerrod Walters is in under the post. And Queensland have scored from out of nowhere. Kerrod Walters under the sticks. A team try. Queensland lead by 10 points to 6.
Yes, well, literally was out of nowhere, but it came from the forwards taking up the likes of Miles, and that disrupted the New South Wales defence, and they went left immediately. And then they saw the gaps on the inside, and it came back inside, and there's Michael Hagan, whose support play has been outstanding. Kerrod Walters ever in support, of course, and showed that he's got a bit of toe. Too much for John Ferguson, who sensibly tried to knock the ball down as Walters crossed the line. But there's McIndoe, had very little of the ball tonight. Shearer on the inside. The calling came from Hagan. He sizes up the situation. You'd have bet pounds to peanuts that Walters would be taken from there with Daly on the left and Ferguson on the right. But the Canberra connection couldn't get him. Ipswich get 4 points through Kerrod Walters. Well done, Queensland.
Well, that will be a nice buffer for the Maroons because New South Wales was really laying down the gauntlet to them. And Miller is now laying down the laws with Chris Mortimer, the experienced players, to the New South Wales team behind the try line. Gary Belcher's the kicker. Makes no mistake, Queensland lead 12-6. Back in a moment. Queensland dropped the ball on the second tackle, but they won one against the feed. And now it's Martin Bella hitting it up. Well, that'd be a savage blow to New South Wales. They had the loose head and feed 12 metres out from the try line, and Walters won one against the head. And now Queensland are back with possession on the halfway mark.
And Sam Bacco still doing it. When he played in reserve grade for the Broncos, he played like a reserve grader. Tonight he's playing like the international that we know he is.
Walters, short pass to Miles. Now Queensland are on the final tackle. Now the backs are lined out. Do they kick? Just a little kick over the top to send Jack around with Johns. Chris Johns takes it. Hancock gets him. That's his Bronco teammate. And Hancock's hurt. That shoulder's gone. Jack's tackled by Lindner. Michael Hancock now, if Hancock has to leave the field, that means they'll probably have to put Bobby Lindner in the backs and bring on Coyne because Hancock's struggling to his feet. New South Wales down 12-6. Bradley Clyde, short of the halfway. Or short of the quarter, I should say. Now done. On the final tackle, they've got to kick to Hancock's wing if they go to kick at all, and they do. But there's the experience. Well, that's inexperience. Kicking to Belcher. Hancock was a mile out of position, and they kicked it down the field to Gary Belcher. Now Shearer. Dale Shearer. Now Hancock. Hancock comes in field. Takes the tackle. Only 12 metres out from the line. The shoulders improved all of a sudden, but it was Dale Shearer that started it. Now Lewis over to Miles. Gill Mister. Can he link up? Gill Mister. A metre out from the line. Queensland on the charge. Miles will probably go from dummy half. There he goes. And he's short of the line. Gilmister's a dummy half. Who wants it? Lewis. He's off him. Shearer. 3 metres out. New South Wales have to hold on. Now Walters. Over to Lewis. Miles, the short pass. It was forward, and that's a good decision from David Hanson. New South Wales, great defence, great determination from the Blues.
Gary Coyne takes the field for Queensland.
There's the forward pass from Lewis fractionally. He wasn't happy about it, but once again, Manson there calling correctly. And great play from Shearer to get there. When Hancock was injured, it was Shearer who covered on Hancock's wing, saw that Hancock couldn't get back, and from the ensuing play, Shearer made the break. It looked like a try to Queensland, but that great defence from the Blues.
Gary Coyne is on in jersey 17.
Bobby Linder's down now.
Now Bobby Linder's getting slowed to his feet as New South Wales will not concede defeat.
Well, let's remember last year we only had 2 reserves for the 2 teams as we see Linder go off. There's only 2 reserves allowed. This year there's 4 for both sides. Queensland have used them all up. If there'd been 2, we'd end up playing with 11 the way things are going.
So Michael Hancock has left the field. Coyne is on. And Queensland have got the ball. Lewis. Wally Lewis. Lewis is going to get there. He's in. Oh, yes. The Emperor of Lane Park. King Wally. Call him what you want. He's taken them on. He's beaten them. And he's scored. And that could be the end of the ball game. Queensland leads 16 points to 6. And that's determination at its peak.
Well, what can you say about Wally Lewis? Anytime some sort of magic needs to be done, whether it's pulling rabbits out of the hat or just shrugging off tacklers or showing some pace, Wally Lewis does it at the right time. He was dead set going to be tackled there, but nope, New South Wales, no answer. That's right. I reckon he was reasonably pleased about that.
Here's Lewis. We said at the break, he had to run the football more, and isn't he a fine player when he runs the football? They get to him, Daly, Jack, Mortimer. Mortimer can't get him, and the look on Mortimer. Lewis's strength. Yes, the heart and determination of the Queensland captain. 16 to 6 is the lead for Queensland. Back in a moment.
Beautiful renovations.
There's a couple of changes. Few changes. Mackay is on. Hasler is on. Cartwright is on. So I can see 3 changes in the New South Wales team. I just can't see Alan Wilson. So 3 changes. Now I think Mortimer's gone off. They all just came and went in a flurry. Now back to Bella. $16 points to 6. Queensland lead with 19 minutes remaining. Gilmister, 10 metres short of the halfway. And Queensland scoring a couple of tries against the run of play. Lewis putting the kick in for touch. Ferguson, no hope.
Kelly, Mortimer and Daly are the players replaced for New South Wales.
Thanks, Mr. T.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Queensland pack down as Gene Miles has gone out into the centres because of injuries with Trumps. Queensland have been going slam. They've lost a heap of players, but a rearrangement, Miles out in the centres. Curry on the wing.
Now Mackay.
Shearer on the ring, Curry in the centres with Miles.
So Mackay goes to ground. Jack underneath Gilmister. Mackay almost under Miles. Well, he was under Miles. Oh, Cartwright's dropped it, and that'll be Coyne's ball.
Tony Curry down with a head problem.
Backo. Well, if Queensland get away with this match, they lead 16 to 6, but there's still 17 minutes to go. It'll be one of sheer courage. These blokes have been smacked all over the park, and legitimately so by New South Wales in a very physical manner, and they still hang on. Coyne. Curry being attended to. Now Lewis. Miles. Oh, Des Hasler, great stuff. Now goes to Walters, back to Lewis. Follows ahead. Hasler gets it. He's lost it. Wally's come up with the football. No, he hasn't. I thought for a moment he had dropped it. I thought David Manson was going to rule it was Queensland's ball. Now Maguire. Done. Fennick away to Alexander. What can he spark? Hasler. Beautifully tackled by Bobby Lindner. Now Alexander over to Cartwright. 2 converted tries New South Wales need. Back to Jack. All the time in the world. Belcher. Can he get around Clyde? Yes. Can he get around Mackay? Yes. Can he get to the halfway mark? Yes. Great run from Belcher. Miles. 2 metres inside New South Wales territory. Bella. There's something about his fitness, Andrew Slack. Martin Bella, by golly, he must be fit.
I think he's got 16 teammates who must be fit because they just wouldn't have lasted.
Now Curry kicks ahead and it'll go on a touch. And the man that started that was Sam Bacco, standing wide of the ruck, getting his pass away. The kick was the right option, he just couldn't put it in the right spot. So now Hasler goes to half-back.
Good enough because the pressure remains on New South Wales, even if they win the ball as they have, and Hasler take it away.
Alexander goes to 5'8", that went back to Ferguson. Now Alexander's a dummy half. Over to Clyde. He's tackled by his Canberra teammate, Coyne. Now Miller. Coyne again in the tackle. With him was Hagan. Cartwright, can he find a way through? Yes, Maguire. Bruce Maguire, Jack looms. Here comes Shearer. Oh, and it's gone back into the hands of Hagan. And he's ruled him offside. Hagan's been ruled offside, penalty New South Wales. Well, I don't think they'll kick for goal. Let's have a look.
Yes, well, as Shearer made the tackle, the ball's obviously hit Shearer there. Hagan coming from an offside position. Another good ruling from Manson. New South Wales, the decision to be made. They're kicking for touch.
They have to score, New South Wales. They've got plenty of time to score 2 tries. 14 and a half minutes remaining. Queensland leads 16-6. A State of Origin, you're watching it on Nine's Wide World of Sports, live from the Sydney Football Stadium. Cartwright, 9 metres out from the line.
Didn't hit that with much conviction, John Cartwright.
Now Fennick will. Fennick, 2 metres out. Alexander, does he go the blind? No, he goes on his own. He can't find a way through. Now Miller. Is there a little kick on? No, it goes to Hasler. And he can't get his hands free. Plays it to Fennick. Over to Alexander. Now Cartwright. And stands in the tackle. Back to Johns. And he's in. Chris Johns in to score. New South Wales aren't done with yet, I'll tell you. 16 points to 10, Queensland lead. And the Blues, the crowd of 40,000, go berserk at the stadium.
Well, the change of direction as John Cartwright takes it right, and Queensland just ran out of numbers. Gene Miles in a bit of a scuffle with one of the Blues. That left the gap. Chris Johns, who very much deserves a try, and both his efforts both at Lang Park and here have been outstanding. And there, as Miles is slung around without the ball by Maguire, gets a bit angry. Johns comes on the inside. There's a hole. Too quick for Hagan and Gilmeister. New South Wales well and truly back in it with 12 minutes, 49 seconds remaining.
And this should be a sitter for Alexander. So if he kicks this at 16-12, the Blues with a converted try can get up for the cup. Hits it. It's over. 16-12 Queensland leader. We'll be back with more action in a moment.
Hello, Trailblazers. I'd just like to say that, like me, you too can get off the beaten track and go absolutely wild in a Suzuki Sierra. And wow, what a great buzz having the wind whistling through your hair. Can you feel it? Sorry, I got a bit carried away then. What's more, this adventure machine sells for the amazing, fantastic and altogether incredible price that's written all over my face. So get yourself a Suzuki Sierra and, like me, you'll be numb with joy.
See your Suzuki dealer
Now.
So Lewis restarts and it's taken by Jack. He did a good job to get it to the 22. The Blues, they sense they can get up now. A converted try will give them victory. Mackay. Oh, hit hard by Gilmister. Now Hasler. Out wide Eddinghausen. Inside to Johns. Back to Hasler. They support the ball carrier, New South Wales. Miller. Short pass to Alexander and he's got it to Maguire. Backo's got him and he's lost the football. Tony Curry dives on it. Queensland have possession. Walters will go to dummy half. Lindner. Queensland forwards needing a spell. There's hands on hips. Now Miles. Can't make any ground. Who's the next forward to hit it up? Whose turn is it? It's Bellas. And he's lost the football. It's gone backwards. 6 to go, says Manson. He drilled New South Wales, played at it. Backo just outside the 22. Now Walters. Queensland can't make any ground up the middle of the ruck. Now it goes towards Gilmister. He hangs on to it. Now it goes back to Coyne. Hagan inside to Lewis. He's got it back. It's gone loose. That'll be a knock-on. McIndoe couldn't hang on to it. New South Wales with the loose head and feet. 8 metres out from their line.
Yes, and McIndoe had the tackle of Des Hasler at the time he received the ball. Just there, bang, Hasler in, causes him to lose the ball. And a real chance for Queensland goes begging.
Alexander feeds the scrum and Hasler goes to 5'8". They've been alternating. In it goes. Slips over. Back to Hasler. Lewis gets him. No, he doesn't. And Desi Hasler's found a bit of space. But the axe cuts him down. Trevor Gilmister. 9.5 minutes to go on the match, and Clyde at the 22. Good run from the teenage lock from Canberra. Cartwright. Oh, that might have been knocked on, I think, yes.
Yes, the initial movement of the ball was forward, although he had some complaint from Mario Fennick as Paul Dunn leaves the field for New South Wales.
Alan Wilson on and 15. Hagan to feed. Oh, Maguire must have been a mile offside, but David Manson playing on. Now goes to Coyne. Short of the 22. Backo. Big Sam. And there's Alan Langer in the dressing room, wishing he was out there. Now Miles. He's dropped it, trying to be too fancy. No need for that, leading 16 to 12. He's dropped the football. But I guess if he gets the pass away and Queensland score, that's the ball game. So you can't blame him for that.
Yes, although I did feel that came from a New South Wales player. Tried to get it around the corner, New South Wales knocked it down. But nevertheless, ball to New South Wales.
Jack. It's tackled by Lewis and over the top is Curry. Eddinghausen from dummy half. Tackled by Hagan. Now it goes to Hasler. He can be dangerous, and that is why he's outside the 22.
Hurt in the tackle from Trevor Gilmister.
Is it an ankle? He's getting up to his feet. Gilmister's put some heavy hits in here. Now Wilson can't push off Tony Curry. He got his pass away to Eddinghausen, and he's coming up the middle. And I think that's Gilmister's run into his head. Almost knocked him out. New South Wales now with Cartwright. He's lost it. Queensland's ball.
Cartwright's been a bonus for Queensland since he's come on. He's dropped a couple of balls when New South Wales have had Queensland under pressure.
Now it's up to the forwards to take it up for the first three. Lewis runs it himself. Belcher. And he's thrown that ball into touch, so Queensland haven't got it right. Has it come off a New South Wales hand? Lewis says it's come off a New South Wales hand.
I think David Manson's picked it up as well.
Well, Alexander's got the football.
No, he hasn't. You're right.
Alexander's beating. Manson rules it hasn't. So it's play on. Ferguson can't get away from Curry. They spin it to the right, I would say. Mackay on his own. I think he should have shifted the football right of the field. 6.5 minutes to go. Fenwick. Is that knocked back by Bradley Clyde? It is. He goes to ground on the quarter. Both teams very tired. Wilson. Backo, by golly, he found his fitness in a hurry.
Queensland still coming forward in defence. New South Wales can't get out of their 22 or out of their 30 metres region. I think that we'll see a kick very shortly, and they'll try and play it down in Queensland territory.
No, they run it. Miller inside to Clyde. He's lost it. That should be Queensland's ball or a changeover. Well,
foolish play, I believe, from New South Wales. They can't win the game from inside their own half. Queensland's defence is strong enough to keep them there.
Walters having a scoot. Hagan. 10 metres inside New South Wales territory. Bella holds on to the football. Queensland don't have to score any more points. New South Wales do. 5.5 minutes remaining. And that's what can happen. Gilmister's gone without it, and Fenwick's got the football. New South Wales 4 points away. 16-12 Queensland lead with Gary Jack. He's lost it. That'll be knocked back. Play on. Alexander's held. Plays it to Mackay. He's almost through. He's at the halfway mark. Under 5 minutes remaining. Alexander gives it to Miller.
Bob Lindner injured for Queensland.
Queensland are going to have to pull out all stops. The Blues on the rear page. Alexander to Hasler. Outside to Clyde. Then it goes to Johns. And he throws it infield. Clyde's got the football.
Clyde threw that pass too early to his winger. He allowed Shearer to drift off and stop the movement.
We'll go to Rod Tiley. Manson's marching. What's he doing here? Oh, he's gone to Bobby Lindner, who's hurt. Let's go to Rod Tiley.
OK, Alan, with me is Michael Hancock, the injured Queensland winger. Michael, what's wrong with the shoulder?
Oh, mate, I just done my AC joint, so there's not much I can do about it. I just thought I'd come off because I'm a bit of a liability out there and I just didn't want anyone scoring twice through me.
It's been a courageous performance. Can we hang on and win it?
Oh, mate, all you do is just sort of hold the ball. I think that's the main thing we've got to do.
OK, thank you, Michael.
The call for the stretcher for Bobby Lindner. So Queensland are going to play the last 4 minutes and 18 seconds with 12 men. They don't have anyone else. Shearer, Hagan, Gilmister and Coyne, the 4 reserves are on. Lindner's getting carted off. Alan Langersby to hospital with a knee ligament injury. Mel Meninga's got a fractured cheekbone. Hancock's done his shoulder. What a game. Paul Borton's done his elbow. That was him in the grandstand, sitting behind Hancock. And Queensland have to play with 12 men because Lindner can't continue.
Well, whatever happens result-wise in this game, you couldn't ever have a better performance, a more courageous performance from both sides, but particularly from Queensland. That's an horrendous injury list they've put up with, and yet they've kept coming and coming. It's magnificent, and I think particularly the props, Martin Bella and Sam Backo, the tackling they've been doing. They've been tackling New South Wales three-quarters. They've been tackling New South Wales second rowers. Outstanding. Hard to single them out, everyone else doing their job, but in a situation like this, the props really have to pull out something extra. That's what Backo and Bella have done, and let's hope for Queensland's sake, for the next 4 minutes and 18 seconds, they can continue to do so.
I think the crowd, New South Wales crowd, have been very pro-New South Wales, and so they should as their home state. They're entitled to barrack until the cows come home, but they'll walk away regardless of the result to know that they've seen a great football team. Gary Jack's knocked it forward. That'll be a scrum. The In fact, that's the final tackle. That might be the changeover. And with all that stoppage, we lost track of the tackles, but David Manson didn't. 4 minutes remaining. Queensland can't afford to make a mistake with the football.
Bobby Linder may have a broken fibia bone, according to Dr. Keith Woodhead.
Now Coyne. It's safety first. Now Coyne's hurt. Is there any Queenslander on his feet at the end of it? Bella holding the football. 3 minutes and 38 seconds remaining. Backo. Hang on to the ball. He's got it back to Walters. No safety with Sam. In the middle of the ground. Can Lewis get the kick in? He's just got it in. How will it be? Ferguson goes back with Jack. Jack picks it up. Can he get around McIndoe? He's not McIndoe's man. Ferguson's going to come up with the football. Now it's with Brad Mackay. Away to Alexander. They're throwing everything. They're going to stretch Queensland all over the park, and away goes Johns. Knocked down by Queensland. And a penalty come from an offside position. New South Wales aren't out of it yet. 2 minutes 50 to go on the clock.
Penalty to New South Wales, but a saving tackle from Kerrod Walters there. Great play from the hooker.
Alexander finds touch on the halfway. Can New South Wales pull it out of the fire and level the State of Origin series at 1 apiece? Or can Queensland hang on and win their 7th match in a row and the 89 series? Backo still tackling. Now to Alexander, gives it to Maguire. And he's tackled by Coyne and Hagan. Bruce Maguire now away to Alexander. Cartwright can't get past Miles. He's lost the football. Oh, gee, that went back, I think. David Manson ruling he's lost it forward.
Well, either way, Jack Gibson, I think, will be ruling having put John Cartwright on the field. Here is the situation. He's tackled, and it should be a free kick to New South Wales, no risk. Yes, Gene Miles should have incurred a penalty there. Manson missed it. To the advantage of Queensland, all they've got to do is hold it for 6, 1 minute 35 remaining.
Michael Hagan, 8 metres short of the halfway. Lewis goes to dummy half and over to Miles. He's short of the halfway. Walters gives it to Coyne. He hangs on to the football. 1 minute 20 remaining. I don't know why people are leaving.
Staggering. How could a person leave their seat in a game like this?
Backo makes headway. He's cramped. Not surprising. He valiantly gets to his feet to play the ball. Walters. Now they're on the final tackle, and there's 55 seconds remaining. Lewis. Over it goes. Can Johns run it out this time? Yes, oh, great stuff, Chris Johns. 40 seconds remaining. Can New South Wales do the impossible, Gary Jack?
Lewis covering at full-back at the moment. New South Wales don't want to spin it wide for Queensland's sake.
Now they move it. Can they find a hole? Hands. Is that knocked on? Whose ball? Queensland have got it. Gene Miles in the dying 17 seconds. Bella away to Backo. All he has to do is hold the football. Whoa, hang on to it, Sam. 6 seconds. There's the countdown. Miles will take it. Gives it to Lewis. And that's it. That's full time. That's the ball game. And Queensland win the State of Origin series. They get a standing ovation, the Maroons, and so should New South Wales. This has been one heck of a game of rugby league. Queensland win by 16 points to 12. They have now won 7 in a row, and I think this will be one of the toughest games that Wally Lewis and his Maroons will ever play.
Yes, well, I think sometimes at the moment of victory, people can get carried away with the magnitude of it. I don't think that's the case tonight. I've been watching State of Origin football since its inception in 1980. I believe that's the gutsiest win. A magnificent effort. When they had to tackle, they did. And there's the man who really led, Sam Backo. He was simply outstanding. He's missed a lot of this season through injury. He's played reserve grade, as we see Wally Lewis taking the accolades. But Bacco and Bella, his front row mate, well, gee, didn't they lead from the front?
Lewis calling, I think, for all his players. Well, if they can anyway, they can stand to get out and share in the glory.
They are sharing in the glory, and the two big front rowers, Sam Bacco and Martin Bella, hold him aloft. Tony Curry's in close, as is Gene Miles, and Wally Lewis.
But what about, I know we can be a bit one-eyed about Queensland, but Andrew, New South Wales tonight, they were magnificent. They came out, it was a new ball game, it was a new team, and they played absolutely tremendous football, but only to go down by 16 points to 12. We'll take a break and then be back with more.
Have a look at the highlights of the second 40 minutes.
Gene Miles taken on a real difficult responsibility in the second half. He knows the Queensland team are struggling up front with the loss of...
Quick hands for Queensland. Belcher. Now it goes back inside to Shearer. Over to Hagan. Back to Walters. He's heading for the try line. And he's there. Kerrod Walters is in under the post, and Queensland have scored from out of nowhere. Kerrod Walters under the sticks. A team try. Queensland lead by 10 points to 6. And Queensland have got the ball. Lewis, Wally Lewis. Lewis is going to get there. He's in. Oh, yes. The Emperor of Lang Park. King Wally. Call him what you want. He's taken them on. He's beaten them. And he's scored. And that could be the end of the ball game. Queensland leads 16 points to 6, and that's determination at its peak. Plays it to Fennick, over to Alexander, now Cartwright, and stands in the tackle, back to Johns, and he's in! Chris Johns in to score. New South Wales aren't done with yet, I'll tell you. 16 points to 10, Queensland lead.
And of course, Queensland with 12 men hung on to win by 16 points to 12. Take a short break, more shortly. Football Stadium, Mr. T has TC.
We're with Tony Curry, the Queensland centre. Tony, one great game. Was that probably the best you've played in?
Mate, I love games like that. When you win them by 2, 3, 4 points and it's, you know, neck and neck all the way to the final whistle, I think it's great to play in those games rather than win 36-6.
The courage that the Queensland side showed there tonight, with all those replacements coming on, just brilliant stuff.
Well, mate, like I said before, we're a great team and great teams overcome any odds. It's not an issue.
OK, so celebrations now?
Yes, Rod, could I say hello to a couple of people back in Queensland? The Treleaven household, I know they're watching tonight, and Mum. How are you, Mum?
Good on you, We're TC. ready?
Thanks, Rod.
Tony, well done, and well done to the Queenslanders. Congratulations. Let's head back to the Sydney Football Stadium.
Here in the dressing rooms with the Queensland captain, the victory man tonight, and also man of the match, Wally Lewis. Great job.
Yeah, Rod, it was very tough out there. We had a lot of wounded blokes, 3 broken bones at half-time. Alan Langer with a broken leg, Mel broke his cheekbone, looks like Paul Vaughton broke his arm, so we didn't have a lot of petrol left in the tank going out after half-time.
That second half performance, though, was inspiring stuff. A lot of courage out there.
Yeah, our blokes really stuck to their guns. I was very proud of the way they just kept going all the time. We were on the back pedal for most of that second half, and the courage that they showed was something you'd have to take your hat off to.
Well, you've won another series. Well done.
Thanks very much, Rob.
Wally Lewis, the Queensland captain and man of the match. Here's Chris Bombolis.
Well, thank you, Rod. We'll take a bit of time to catch our breath and back with all the wrap-up on the State of Origin. And winning the second State of Origin by 16 points to 12, and then thus wrapping up the State of Origin series for 1989 2-0. Of course, there is the third game still to be played. That'll be played up here at Lang Park on Wednesday, June 28th. That's Queensland, New South Wales, Lang Park, the third State of Origin. Of course, Queensland will be out to win their 8th State of Origin encounter in a row against the Blues and take their record up to 17. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope they can do it. All right, that's all from us here at 9 for this week, and hope you can join us again when we next meet here on 9's Wide World of Sports.
1989 State of Origin telecast was proudly sponsored by Medway Bank and Castlemaine Perkins, brewers of 4X.